These are zoom enlargements of Nathaniel Redman. So it's Monday, October 16th. It uses a 76mm telescope, and in this case a Nikon D3100. So let's start the video. It's a very good zoom, and the area that I'm focusing on is on the edge of the on the moon. So let's just fast forward. They're very clear images. I'm very surprised at the clarity it's got. This area I like a lot because it shows that bizarre structure there, and these are very bright lights. These are very clear areas. You'll see that triangular shape there. What looks like two matchsticks sticking up there, and the whole lot is actually very clear, very bizarre, especially those two round shapes there, the square areas coming out of them. Now in these areas, that's where we see that first structure there. We see that tower shaped object there, and we'll just start to zoom in. These are the areas I zoomed in on. That structure right there that goes up, and just as we go a touch further, what we'll see is a very strange thing happening. Right there, that area. Try to zoom in. There's something that seems to go over that area there. That object there as well. Large object there. And then we go up, further up, areas which I'll try to zoom in as well. They're always on the edge. Those structures there, that's sort of rectangular object, that a dome there, and those objects there. That's it, we can see it a bit clearer now. These images seem amazing. It looks as though I've caught something on that landing pad. It looks like a landing pad. There's a very big circular object sitting on there. Seems to be a square tall tower there. Buildings, tubes, everything's happening. It's just bizarre. I've actually zoomed in pretty well in that area. This area as well. And as far as I know, this would be the south pole of the moon. We've got that very large object there, which usually is on the southwest part when we look at it, bottom southwest. So I think this is just inverted, but that to me looks like a huge elliptoid sphere just sitting in that crater. Is that some sort of landing site? It's just amazing what I've caught there. And I'll actually zoom in on these and process them. Let's go further. So he's just zooming in a fraction there. I could just pause it there and take a few more pictures. This is the area of the moon we're looking at, and we see that peculiar shape there as well. So looking at the south pole down there, and that's that area that NASA fired a rocket, I think it was called L-Cross, and the excuse was to see if there's any ice down there. But we're seeing all these domes and buildings and tubular structures down there. It just looks like there's too much life down there happening, and to actually fire a rocket down there just seems a bit bizarre. So let's return to the video. So this is the area of the south pole, and yet it is bizarre. There's a huge rounded object sitting there on that sort of square base. I'm not sure if it's a UFO or anything like that. We've got rectangular buildings there. I'll actually zoom in on those structures there. We've got very large structures there as well. So there's plenty of activity happening there, and that was that object we saw on the south pole. So I'll just now analyze the pictures. These are the pictures now that I've zoomed in on. So they're very hard to work out what they are. from here, so I'll just try to imagine. This was on the South Pole. There are those tubular objects going across. Here we've got, again, that what looks like a rectangular building. You've got the tubes coming across as well. Here we've got that bizarre object that seems to sit there like an egg or a large UFO. I hate to say the word UFO, but it's just that sort of shape. I'm not sure what it is. There's an object that's coming up. This is bizarre. It just seems to grow upwards and sideways. I've seen this before on an amateur video as well, so it's not new to me, but a different angle. There's that one that looked like a platform. It's got a V shape, very high, I estimate about 50 kilometers. It's got a black dome there, and there's one object next to it. Here's the bizarre shape, and that's what looks like a tower going up. So that's probably about 40, 50 kilometers. There it is. It's got a very thin process, and then it widens up the top. That's an excellent picture. And there's a hole there that seems endless, because obviously it's very shallow on the sides, and then it becomes very dark black. So it seems fairly deep. Some are very shallow, and some seem endless because they're totally black. There it is again. So this is a shallow next to it, that's shallow, and all of a sudden that looks more like an entrance or a hole rather than shallow, and it goes up very high. It's like some sort of antenna or landing pad, or I don't know what to say. It's a very bizarre shaped object. There's that strange object that goes sideways. It's close, I can zoom in on that one. There's that V-shaped object with the black dome there. There's something there right on the edge. I didn't see that before. Something's there, and there it is. This is unusual because it shows us, oh, this is very unusual. We have a square area there. It's perfectly square, and then a round one. Then we have this enlarged object right there, and these things coming over like big tubes. That's circular, that's tube shape. That to me is a perfect square shape there, and that's more rounded. I don't think that's an accident. Look at it, it's so square. Then you've got that archway or a walkway going across. Then you've got these tubular structures, that's rounded. Then you've got a platform right there. That is so strange. It just does not look like rocks. Look at it. That is a spectacular picture. A square shape and a round shape. I can't believe I'm seeing this. It's fantastic. There's that tubular shape there. There's that platform I was telling you about. There's that round shape, and that leads out of that shape there. I'll show you where we are. That's that. So we're going in this spot here. And that seems to be an entrance there. It comes out of that shallow dome. There's an entrance there. You've got a perfect square area right there. Then you've got something that looks like a walkway, a tunnel underneath, and this arches across, and that's rounded and tubular. And then you've got that square platform. These are very bizarre shapes. Look at that. Is that rounded shape? What looks like a walkway or a tunnel under there, that's a crossing. That's square, that's rounded. That is spectacular. We've got more lines going this direction. I'm not sure what's in the center. There's some sort of tube or a dome there. I can't believe these are real pictures. These are just great. Let's go to the next one. Ah, here's that fantastic rod, an object on top. It looks like an antenna. These are shallow craters, and this looks endless, like an endless hole. Can things actually fly into that? I mean, if this is becoming so crazy, one has to think of that. Look at that. Square, round, and what looks like that platform there, that rounded object again. Each time I catch it, there's a different angle, and that looks like an entrance or walkway over, and that's empty underneath. These are very great pictures. Again, that to me looks like a square that opens up into that area. There are objects there, and that's like a walkway across it. Let's zoom in on it again. There is definitely strange things in that picture. That to me does not look natural. It doesn't look human-made either. That's the only problem. If these were human-made, I'd say, well, these are our structures, but they don't look like that. There it is again, rectangle. All these strange objects coming across tubes. That looks like a walkway. That's a hollow area down there. Concave area. It's a white object there, and that looks empty right there, and there's a walkway on top. Here's that strange, what looks like square towers. One tower there and tube process. Not that clear, that picture. There's a process going up. That area is a shallow area. There are some things there. I couldn't get it clearer. There's that squarish shape. Again. Again. There's that rounded object that sits in that what looks like a landing pad. I don't know what it is. Is it a dome? Can it actually fly and take off? I really don't know what to think about that one. There it is again. There's that object that goes across. It seems to be sitting in a type of platform or a landing area. Look at it. It's just elliptoid shape. You've got the tubes running across. I'm not sure what to make of that. And that's where L-Cross fired a rocket a few years ago from NASA to search for ice down there. It was a pretty large impact, we were told. So why would it be shooting a rocket next to all those structures? I wonder. Look at that. That is fantastic. You've got square structures, tubes. Try to zoom in on this photo here. Some things are happening there, but that one's going to be hard to work out. There it is again. Here's that egg-shaped object, and there it looks as though it's sitting in that sort of platform, and tubes running across. There it is again. This is a bit clearer. You'll see that very big rectangular structure. That's probably 20 kilometers high at least. These objects there. It's not that clear, but there is something there, definitely. Look at that. There's a dome. Tubular structures going across. Objects going up there as well. A dome in that squarish type area. There's the dome. That's extreme close-up, but that's as clear as I can get it. There's that square area on the side. Objects going over. Platform, big tubular processes. Concave area or depressed area with that entrance right there. Let's try to zoom in on that one. It's the best I can do on that one. Again, that square area, then the rounded area, the walkway or some sort of a bridge over it, these structures or tubes. That object coming across, that's the rounded depressed area next to it. There's that big platform there. That object is very weird. I'm just trying to zoom on it and look at it. Wow, that looks alien. That does not look human. I'm sorry to say that, but that is not a human construction. It just sticks right out. It's got that a dish on the side, got that type of platform there, and on that side there was where that square recession was. This is a rounded recession, and then there's the entrance into it. My God, just look at that. Let's see if I can take this high somehow. Wow, look at that. That is huge. It's like a huge ray gun or something like that. Just look at those objects in there. There's that really strange one, the tower. The hole right next to it looks fairly deep for an entrance, and these towers coming up. Again, I'm just fascinated. Look at that. The dome. That's it.